The history of NATO's European air range following the devastating conflagration of the Second World War. The nations of Western Europe found themselves confronted by a nascent yet profound geopolitical threat. The imperative for a collective security apparatus became unmistakably clear, as the fragile post-war peace yielded to new anxieties. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, formally established in 1949, represented a monumental stride towards unified defense. Its foundational principle rested upon the commitment to mutual assistance, demanding an unprecedented level of military integration among sovereign states. At its inception, the air forces of the member states, though veterans of recent conflict, possessed disparate equipment, doctrines, and training methodologies. The urgent task was to forge these very components into a cohesive and potent aerial shield. From the earliest strategic deliberations, our power was recognized as a cornerstone of NATO's defensive posture. Its speed, reach, and deterrent capabilities were deemed indispensable in an era of rapidly evolving military technology. The advent and swift proliferation of jet-propelled aircraft presented both a formidable advantage and a significant challenge. These new machines redefined the parameters of aerial warfare, demanding advanced piloting skills and sophisticated tactical understanding. The dramatically increased speeds and operational altitudes of jet aircraft rendered traditional training methods and existing national airspaces increasingly inadequate. The complexity of aerial maneuvers and weapons employment escalated exponentially. Most individual member nations possessed only limited territorial airspaces and training grounds, often insufficient for the realistic simulation of high-speed air combat and ground attack scenarios involving multiple modern aircraft. The necessity for joint training exercises, fostering interoperability and a common operational doctrine, quickly became apparent. Without shared experiences in complex environments, the promise of collective air defense would remain unfulfilled. Early discussions among NATO's military planners began to explore the concept of a multinational air training infrastructure. The aim was to create designated areas where forces from various nations could train together under realistic conditions. Strategic geographic considerations dictated the optimal placement of such a range. It required vast, unpopulated or sparsely populated areas, preferably over water, to accommodate the trajectories of modern ordnance and the safety perimeters required. Initial feasibility studies commenced, meticulously assessing potential locations against criteria such as airspace availability, environmental impact, logistical support, and political viability among the allied nations. The acquisition of suitable land or the designation of extensive maritime zones, coupled with the inherent complexities of coordinating among multiple sovereign governments, presented considerable political and logistical hurdles. The conceptualization evolved beyond mere national ranges to a coherent European air range system, a network of interconnected training facilities designed to cater to the diverse needs of NATO's IR forces. Particular attention was paid to regions offering broad expanses, notably segments of the North Sea and the Baltic Sea for air-to-sea firing, and certain remote land areas within member states for air-to-ground operations. The Supreme Allied Commander Europe SESAR played a pivotal role in advocating for and overseeing the establishment of this critical infrastructure, recognizing its indispensable contribution to operational readiness. A specialized working group was formally constituted to manage the intricate planning, construction, and eventual operationalization of these proposed range facilities, drawing expertise from all contributing nations. Funding mechanisms were devised to distribute the substantial costs among member states, often through infrastructure programs that reflected each nation's capabilities and commitment to the collective defense. Segments of the North Sea and Baltic Sea were designated as primary air-to-sea firing ranges, offering unparalleled opportunities for realistic anti-ship and air defense exercises without significant encroachment on civilian areas. Concurrently, several air-to-ground ranges were established in select land territories, carefully chosen for their minimal population density and their topographical suitability for diverse targeting scenarios. By the mid-1950s, the first dedicated multinational European air ranges became operational, marking a significant milestone in NATO's journey towards integrated air power capabilities. Initial training exercises conducted at these nascent ranges quickly revealed invaluable insights into interoperability challenges, highlighting areas requiring standardization in procedures, communications, and command structures. The exigencies of modern air combat dictated the urgent need for advanced radar tracking, telemetry systems, and sophisticated instrumentation to accurately monitor, record, and evaluate aircrew performance and weapons delivery. The development and deployment of remotely piloted target drones became crucial, simulating hostile aircraft with increasing fidelity and allowing for realistic air-to-air missile engagements. The authorization for live ordnance training within these designated ranges represented a critical step, enabling aircrews to experience the full operational sequence of weapon deployment in a controlled, yet realistic environment. The inevitable environmental and noise concerns emanating from intensified military aviation activities necessitated the implementation of stringent regulations and ongoing dialogue with affected local communities. Comprehensive safety protocols were meticulously drafted and continuously refined, encompassing airspace management, weapons handling, emergency response, and post-exercise recovery procedures to mitigate risks. Throughout the 1960s, the network of European air ranges underwent significant expansion and modernization, reflecting the escalating demands of the Cold War and the evolving nature of aerial warfare. The integration of new generations of fighter aircraft, such as the Lockheed F-10 for Starfighter and the McDonnell Douglas F for Phantom II, spurred further adaptations in range infrastructure to accommodate their unique performance characteristics. A renewed emphasis was placed upon advanced air-to-air combat training, incorporating complex tactical scenarios designed to hone the skills required for dogfighting and beyond visual range engagements. The increasing sophistication of electronic warfare necessitated the establishment of specialized ranges equipped for electronic countermeasures (ECM) and electronic support measures (ESM) training, simulating contested electromagnetic environments. The operational readiness demonstrated by NATO forces training at these ranges served as a visible and potent component of Cold War deterrence, signaling collective resolve and capability. Joint training sessions at the European Air Range played an instrumental role in the development and refinement of common tactical doctrines, ensuring that allied air forces could operate seamlessly as a unified entity. In certain instances, non-NATO allies and partner nations were invited to participate in specific exercises, fostering broader international cooperation and demonstrating the inclusive nature of the training facilities. The technological advancements of the 1970s, particularly in avionics and weapons systems, prompted further upgrades to the range infrastructure, demanding higher fidelity simulation and data collection capabilities. The advent of precision-guided munitions transformed aerial attack methodologies, necessitating new training protocols to effectively employ these sophisticated weapons against highly specific targets. The need arose for more complex and dynamic training scenarios, moving beyond static targets to incorporate mobile threats, integrated air defense systems, and realistic battlefield simulations. A significant leap in training realism occurred with the establishment of the NATO Air Combat Maneuvering Instrumentation (ACMI) system, providing precise, real-time tracking of multiple aircraft within a dedicated training area. The ACMI system revolutionized post-flight debriefing and analysis, offering unparalleled insight into pilot performance, tactical decisions, and the effectiveness of maneuvers through detailed graphical representations. The integration of ground-based air defense (GBAD) units into comprehensive exercises at the ranges allowed for realistic engagement scenarios between air assets and surface-to-air threats, enhancing overall defensive capabilities. The ongoing challenge of managing increasingly congested European airspace, reconciling military training requirements with civil aviation demands, necessitated continuous innovation in air traffic control and coordination. Political and economic pressures periodically impacted the funding and maintenance of the extensive range infrastructure, requiring persistent advocacy for their strategic importance and long-term viability. The promotion of cross-border training initiatives, where our forces regularly utilized facilities in other member nations, reinforced interoperability and fostered deeper mutual understanding among allied personnel. The dissolution of the Soviet Union and the subsequent end of the Cold War ushered in a period of strategic reassessment for NATO, yet the enduring value of the European air range remained undisputed. The shift in NATO's operational focus from large-scale continental confrontation to expeditionary and out-of-area operations underscored the continued need for highly trained, adaptable air forces. The European Air Range remained critical for maintaining the high levels of readiness and proficiency required for diverse missions, from peacekeeping and humanitarian aid to complex combat operations. The range is continually adapted to accommodate the unique performance characteristics and data-sharing requirements of 4th and 5th generation fighter aircraft, ensuring their effective integration into coalition operations. The burgeoning proliferation of unmanned aerial systems (UAS) introduced new training requirements, with ranges being adapted to support the integration of these platforms into manned-to-man teaming concepts. The emphasis intensified on joint and combined arms training, recognizing that modern warfare demands seamless coordination not just within air forces, but across all domains: land, sea, air, space, and cyber. The sophisticated infrastructure of the European Air Range continues to play a vital role in maintaining NATO's technological edge, allowing for the rigorous testing and refinement of new systems and tactics. Thus, the European Air Range stands as an enduring testament to NATO's foresight and commitment to collective defense. Its evolution mirrors the strategic shifts and technological advancements of the past decades, solidifying its status as an indispensable pillar of allied air power and a critical component of future readiness.